like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. But Lord, 'tis for thee, for thy coming we wait. The sky, not the grave, is our goal. O trump of the angel, O voice of the Lord, blessed hope, blessed rest of my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. And on hasten day when my face shall be sight, oh, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trumpet shall sound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul, my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
Hello everyone, my name is Yap Yi and I will be the host for tonight's program. I hope everyone is fine and safe and not going out and roaming around. Always remember to wash your hands and avoid touching your face. Most importantly, stay at home. Although these JPO family broadcasts are amateurish, we are providing opportunities for people with different interests to learn not performance but transferable life skills. We are doing this series of program because JPO think this will be able to help in uplifting the spirit of everyone in this long period of lockdown. Please help us to do the polling, and if you have any questions to ask, please type them in the Q&A below. So for today, JPO are indeed very honored to be able to invite Caleb Wu as our special guest for tonight. Lyric baritone Caleb Wu was granted chances to perform many Bach vocal works, such as St. John Passion, B minor Mass, and cantatas in these few years, which brought him to perform under the baton of John Butt, David Chin, Felix Jung and Felix Schön, which enhanced his understanding of early music. The performance of oratorio, such as Handel's Messiah and Mozart's Requiem, which brought Caleb to collaborate with Christopher Seaman, Helmuth Railing, and others. Caleb also participates in opera productions. Recently, he participated in the production of the award-winning opera Angel's Bone, produced by the New Vision Arts Festival, and later the Beijing International Music Festival. Original operas composed by Chan Hin-yan, The Heart of Coral and Datong, which were commissioned by the Hong Kong Arts Festival, as well as Opera Hong Kong, Hong Kong City Opera, and to name a few. Caleb graduated from Eastman School of Music, Hong Kong Baptist University, and Chinese University of Hong Kong. He also obtained LRSM and ATCL from ABRSM and Trinity and Guildhall. His voice teachers include Professor Robert McIver, Mr. Jimmy Chan, and Mr. Sanson Lau. He is now serving as the music director of Tuan Mun Alliance Church and voice instructor at Music Department, Chinese University of Hong Kong, and Chin Music. He is also serving as coordinator of ensemble music ministries in the Hong Kong Baptist University and conductor of the University of Hong Kong Chamber Singers, adjunct lecturer at Lingnan University, as well as a resident artist in Education University of Hong Kong, and now elected as a member of National Association of Teachers of Singing, devoting himself into promoting healthy vocalism, and the ability appreciating the beauty of voice as creation. So everyone, let's welcome Caleb Wu.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Caleb.
Hi.
So could you share more about the video we've just watched?
Oh, yes. The video is an arrangement by the BYU Singers, which is a group of singers, very talented singers, all boys singers, and from the Brigham Young University. It apparently is a cappella piece, and basically the piece itself is written for a group of male singers, but in this pandemic time, I have a lot of spare time, and I am exploring my music technology skills. So I use that very comforting hymn, which I love most, to produce a video to share to the community about the great message about peace.
Okay.
This music is about 8 to 9 parts. It's all done by myself. I used 2 days, around 12 hours to produce the audio and the video. And I did buy the music from the official website to observe the part writing. And the hardest thing in this production is the shooting. It's not the audio mixing, it's the shooting, because I have no experience on video shooting, and I'm not a music video maker beforehand. So the lighting, just one man showing up to do all the things, the shooting, to do the video editing, is all the very hard thing to me.
So was all done by you?
Yes, all done by me.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I learned to use a video editing software. The first time that I use a video making software is this production. And I experienced extreme vocalism in this music because I'm a baritone, usually singing bass part and medium parts of the male voice, but I have to sing high tenors, and I need to sing the falsetto parts, so I put them together. This is a stretch to me.
Oh, okay. Well, what is the biggest obstacle in learning singing?
In the view of learning singing, because I'm a voice teacher most of the time, and what can I say about the most difficulty in singing or learning singing would be self-awareness. Because we do not see what is inside your voice when we producing sound. It's,
Yes.
it's not like when you're playing a piano, you can see how your finger works. And you're playing on violin, you can turn the angle, you can teach about the bow picking, something like that. But in voice, what we can see is mainly the posture, mainly the position of your alignment, mainly barely you can see the larynx position, the
Yes.
mouthing, the tongue position. But inside and the vocalism or the physiological production inside, like how you're using your diaphragm to work a thing, how you use your lung, how your airflow flowing, how's your vocal cords collide each other, how's your vocalis muscle using more or less, all sort of things you cannot see. So
Yeah.
the very difficult thing in learning singing is self-awareness, how you aware the sound that you listen, you just made, is by what mechanism or by what methodology you made it. So you have to search back that mechanism or the know-how to reproduce a sound you think is right. So sometimes we have a very big big difficulty is the student comes to me, they have to adjust their expectation on imagery and about the and as well as the scientific fact. So when we get it, the good sound that we have produced, we have to catch, we have to
Uh,
rethink, we have to we just not go for the result. We have to think
yes.
how I made that sound, analyze it, and so next time we can we have the know-how to how to make the sound that we want. And the second obstacle, which is I observe is the biggest obstacle urban places, would be the health or the environment, because in urban area like in Hong Kong, I live in Hong Kong, and the air pollution, I live in a very busy street, by the busy street, and so the air pollution, the allergens, etc.,
Yeah.
will make you very uncomfortably to sing. So this
Oh,
is, I think, this is the biggest challenge for learning singing.
does it really affect a lot if the air is not clean or anything?
It depends on your tolerance, because some people, they are really sensitive to environments. Means if you just exposed to an air conditioner which dry up the air very much
Yes.
and cause a lot of dryness in your throat, that this is very hard for some singers. But I've seen a lot of singers, they are very intolerant in environment. So whatever the situation will be, they can still sing good. This is a really
Uh,
good blessing. So you can observe that if you're really insensitive, so-called insensitive to the environment or the pollutants, this may be a good point that you have to turn to learn singing professionally.
uh, how about do you think if they practice enough and hold on, like they keep practicing in bad environment, do you think they will be better, like they can become more tolerable to bad environments?
I don't think so. Um,
Okay.
because when you have problems, usually you have like disease in your voice.
Yes,
It
yes, yes.
it deteriorates your voice,
Oh yeah.
because your voice, especially your instrument, your vocal cords is a very sensitive muscle, a very intrinsic. And so the best thing we can do is not just let it expose to bad environment, but try to protect
Okay.
it from the bad
Bad
environment.
environment.
But you have
Okay.
to practice more, but not in a very bad environment, because you have to practice more to get the muscle memory better, to get your sensation better, to get, especially for singing, it's a lot of neural thing inside.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
especially for the languages, especially for the consonants, a vowel that you're carrying on, and you have to get good connection to your brain, and you need
And yeah.
repetition indeed.
Okay. So what aspects do you have what aspects have you been experiencing the advantages of using technologies in teaching singing and practicing?
Oh, yes. Especially in the pandemic, we have to switch to many online or many music technology things. So
Yes.
I realized that a lot of aspects that we can make use of the technology that's available now online or even available long ago, like 10 years ago. There are lots of music technology thing like the app, the software can
Yes.
help
Yes.
singing. Usually, I can divide into two categories in learning singing with technology. The first will be the visualization of the voice. Like some software, they can um, visualize your pitch, like to
Yes.
show
Yes.
your
Yes.
pitch in a grid, so you can see if you're off pitch or you're in good intonation.
Oh, okay.
This helps a lot because it's not a producing software, but you use that software to reflect, to visualize the sound you made. Because sometimes we cannot tell how sharp you made the sound, how flat you made the sound, to
Oh,
what extent you are not in a good intonation. And so, but we have app now, we have the pitch monitor, so you can see, indeed, I'm right now producing a tone a little bit flat to the tone that I want to do. So I have to tune up my voice a little bit to match the
match.
pitch
Oh, okay.
center. And that match is a really good experience to you to, oh, this is correct, but it is not familiarized to your ears yet. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to get familiarization with what is right objectively and to your hearing or your listening experience. That will help a lot because intonation in violin playing, in string playing, in singing is like essence of
Yeah.
that music production. Some say intonation is like how you speak in your language. Is it you speak with foul languages or
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
speak with nice wording? It's about the intonation, how nice you can put into your music. So
Uh,
if I tune up the intonation, firstly, what I learned from that kind of application or the software is I have to humble myself because I have been thinking I have a good intonation from very young age of mine, but
uh,
when I went into the technology world of the music
yes.
technology world, that I realized that I'm not that good. That I was thinking I'm the top, but I'm not. So
Yeah.
this humble myself, and I know what scale or which interval of my singing, or at what pitch level or register in my voice causes more problems. So I have to pinpoint them and fix the problems. And this is a really good place to narrow down the area that I have to polish my skill, especially when we sing more modern music. Like you introduced my biography before, and I sing in some new
Yes.
production opera, which is
Yeah.
not composed in like major or minor passage. Sometimes they use pentatonic, sometimes they use octatonics, sometimes they use whole tone scale,
Yeah.
sometimes they use 12 tones. This is all the pitch collections are different from major minor world or modal world.
Yes.
So
Yes.
sometimes I have to get some very weird intervals in such a short time. This is a very good training and a very good journey that I've been through when I have to get to work some not really common practice music. And to visualize my voice, the second some software helped me a lot is to show my resonance. In classical singing, like opera singing, we sing like with a lot of ringtone, a
Yes.
lot
Yes.
of
Yes.
the harmonics overtones. We said it, and
Yes.
so how do you know you're singing in a very good overtones, or when we compare good singers to bad singers, or trained singers or untrained singers, we usually get distinguished by the tone color, which tone color scientifically is reflected by the overtones they produce. So if I have a software that can show the resonance, visualize the spectrum of voice,
Yeah.
because singers, when we learn singing, we have to lower the larynx, we have to give a very good vocal tract situation, that
Yeah.
physics, in the physics of voice, that we can produce some overtones persistently. We have to 2,800 to 3,500. That range is the ring, as a very operatic sound of that tone, which just can cut through the orchestra. So we can sing through the orchestra because we have that singer's formant, the spectrum. So when we practice, if we have that software to help us to portray that I having that resonance or have not, do not have that resonance, or which vowel is R, A, E, or U, E, which vowels that I produce more, which vowels I produce less, so that we can fix, when pinpoint the issue, then we fix. And some other software can show your to pitch, like now you're seeing the picture, this focal pitch monitor, that
Yes.
one, the earlier one, which can very well reflected that real time your singing voice to the
Yes.
pitch level, and you see there's
Yeah.
wiggling curve. You can practice vibrato. Vibrato in string is like this.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's the same mechanism of voice, because we don't do what flutes or the woodwinds or the winds instrument does, as which is they use the pulsation of the air to make the vibrato. But
Yeah.
we the singer and the string player, using the pitch shift
Yes. Yes.
higher and the
Yes.
lower around the pitch center to make a kind of illusion to the pitch center. So we can practice for the degrees of how vigorous you're using
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
vibrato, how quick you're doing the vibrato. And we have a fact that if you can do 5.5 cycle in 1 second to 7 cycles in 1 second, this is a very good vibrato. If you're doing
Oh.
trill, you can do more than 7, something like that. We have the readings or the measurement. So if you have the software helping you to figure it out, to listen more carefully, to show clearer your voice is producing, I think this is a great plus, or the benefit to me to learn about singing. One more thing to visualize my voice I use a lot is, or I use it for my student, is to train them how to do the portamento. Portamento is an Italian word, means doing the slide. It's like doing "O mio bambino caro." It's like doing one note, sliding down, but not just sliding down
With
lazily. Not
vibrato.
caro is very lazy slide, but
Yes.
caro with a vibrato
Oh.
inside and going down, which means it carries a lot of emotion, which the drama of the opera may need it. So, another thing in vocalism, um, in many treatises or in many journal, periodicals saying about vibrato,
Yes.
vibrato is not just an expressiveness tone. It's not just for expressiveness. It's not just for style. It is because the physiological needs of you, how you produce sound from your vocal cord, just two muscle coming together, and how much vocalis muscle, the core muscle involved in registers changes, and how the vibrato will keep you sound more cohesive when you change the registers. Vibrato is a device. So
Ah.
it defines the style of bel canto. It's not the bel canto have a style, so you like imitate that, but it is the way they know about voice and they produce sound, and it defines the style. So
Oh.
portamento, vibrato, resonance, intonation, a lot of very important spots in learning singing can be shown clearly and not emotionally from the software and the technology. And the second thing that I can tell is about if you have recording device. This is
Yes.
also technology. If you have recording device, means video cam or like a very good digital recorder, or like using sequencer, like I mixed my audio in the Pro 2 session. It's like the
Yes.
recording software. And once you have a very good playback, very high fidelity playback, or always with a good mic and a good audio interface, you can listen back what you have produced. Because in singing, this what is different from you make music through an instrument, because you have inner hearing. In violin playing, you are hearing something all the people can hear. But
Yeah.
the only difference is because of the distance. You're playing the piano, you're playing the objective tone from the piano. But when you sing, you, as a singer, will never be able to listen what the audience hearing, because
Yeah.
it is an inner hearing. It's so different, the sound. So most of the people, when they turn to the music technology or run into a recording session, they will be shocked by what the sound they are making, because they have not even listened to that tone they produced maybe for the first time of their life. Because so you, as a singer, when you record more, you will get more objective objective point of view about your voice producing.
Ah,
So
okay.
usually, when you have a good mirror, like taking a mirror, you can see yourself, not
Yes.
just a video cam, but also listening back what you have produced. It helps a lot to adjust the way you sing, like in a specific area, like in a concert hall, in a rehearsal room, or in a chamber setting. How big you have to push, or how sophisticated you have to make that diction, the time of the consonants, etc. So you can listen back. You can have audience ears, or the panelist's ear,
Yes.
to
Yes.
listen back to your singing. That helps a lot.
Wow. Do you think the app can be applied for playing instruments too?
Of course, because there actually there are lots of researchers, or the universities, they do sound or music technology, or they do sound research. They will
Yes.
be familiarized with how to use digital format, or how to visualize the sound we hear. So when it's not just for human voices, so it's all voices, so all sound, like violin sound, piano playing, something like that. And or use some research, they can compare recordings by using the measurement. But I don't know how significant that will be. But
Yeah.
if it to string players, just so to speak, if the string player wants to um, polish his or her playing, intonation playing,
Yes.
um, the app is also very applicable to them, because it shows the time you adjust to the pitch, the when you hold a pitch or do a vibrato, is it in the right pitch or the correct rate or the speed. And also, if you produce a tone, you can compare with an open string, or the fourth fingers, or the third position, or the fifth position.
Yes. Yes.
You will
Yes.
see the same tone but different tone color. Now you can visualize this different tone color. So you can have a lot of materials that can be illustrate to your student or to yourself. This is so helpful.
Oh, the tone color.
Yeah, why not? This
Oh, wow.
in science eyes, tone color is just harmonics,
Oh,
overtones. It's
okay. Okay.
energy, right?
Yeah. 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 So, are there anything we need to be aware when we use technologies for teaching aid, regardless to apply on others or ourselves?
Oh yes, I encountered some fails when I used for my student when I was teaching. Like some effects that can be made by you, like you can produce a very rich tone, like saying a
Yes.
professional with a very vivid shown on the screen that your harmonics and overtones are brilliant. But when
Yes.
you plug into your student, the student is untrained and is on training. So
Yes.
they may not be producing the same vigorousness or the
Yes.
vividness of what you did. And so be very careful to introduce to your student because they may be dismayed by the effect that they do. When you produce very brilliantly on the screen, wow, it can wow the audience. But when a student sing the same passage, but they some of the thing that the students is not ready yet, so they produce maybe the screen showing very weak, showing very not vivid, and the student may get dismayed. Oh, I'm not making good sound, something like that. So you have to, as a teacher, you should select or you should um, to pick an angle to the student how to interpret or how to appreciate the sound they are making instead of comparing to a professional teacher. So this is a very the ethical thing. So
Yes.
be
Yes.
very
Yes.
careful because it's like the way you can show off, you can do it, but at the same time, you can also step down. You can stump on your students' feet, and to how to give permission for them to achieve, or give permission for them to fail is a very important pedagogical issue. You have to explain to them the thing so you're not imposing your expectation of professional singers to just a first year or first grade voice
Yeah.
student.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this
Yes.
is have to be very mindful.
So through the technology, because still until now, there are some mics when you record it, you still can't hear what the real sound is. So how, like, are there any difficulties when you actually teach the student?
Oh, you mean through the internet teaching?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's so much different, and I would prefer um, no such teaching module in a workable way. I still figuring out because it does have some software or platform that's working on uh, low audio latency.
Yes.
Okay, the delay of the noise, the sound, but the quality of the
Yeah.
transmission is another problem because usually
Yes.
we need to comment on the sound quality, some very subtle, sophisticated, the tail of your tone,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
the increasing intensity or something like that, very sophisticated. And through like Zoom, like the platform that we're using, the quality of sound is not acceptable.
Yes.
But there are some platform it can do that thing, but like Soundjacked and like some like fast music box. That these are the area that the people like 15 years ago they do some research. They keep putting up the experiments, and some of them are very successful.
Yes.
But in general, teaching studio, not a very highly advanced setup studio, we have to suffer still using the Zoom or using the Team, whatever the platform you are using, and we have to think about the quality of the transmission. So in my teaching, I teach very less. I teach a few students online only, and I would try very hard to meet in person, but this is not really a good thing. The most convenient way to work now in the
Yes.
pandemic.
Yes.
But I do teach online. I will use the recording. Like I'm zooming the student, but I will ask him to record the passage right now and send me the wave or the MP3 file through the WhatsApp or through email, then I have to listen it on my device, which is should has the higher fidelity. The tone
Yeah.
color was truer, so
Yes,
I
yes,
can do
yes.
the feedback on the Zoom, and the Zoom I can show the music score and something like that is very informative. But as I have to comment on his on his tone, I have to go back to the recording, more higher fidelity, and and I remember that I did a Zoom with my student one time,
Okay.
and that student is not really good at rhythm. So
Oh,
sometimes he sings the triplet with some distorted time. So I captured his waveform, and I plugged that waveform side by side to my so-called perfect sample.
okay.
I show him the differences from his waveform and to my sample, and so uh, by the technology, it can be shown better about the time, about the
Ah,
consonant's length, about the vowel, about something the tone color, something like that. So I have the slide too. If you don't mind, I share my screen so
yeah,
I
sure,
show
sure.
you that one. One moment. So you now can see my screen.
Yes.
So this one, this one.
Okay.
This one, the blue one is my student singing. The green one is a sample. So at the top, you see there is a lot of cut and paste there.
Yes.
That means I have to cut and paste your syllables to fit into the sample, which is
Oh, okay.
correctly depict in the green waveform. So I explained to the student that, oh, these three words you have to split evenly, that you are now not doing that way. So I show him in this way to let him visualize the time of the singing. But to show this picture, uh, it used up a lot of time because I have to transfer the waveform to the DAW and to make the cut and paste and to show him. So it used a longer time usually than when we meet in person. But I think this is the best way to use the technology, which is we are not imitating or we are not substituting the in-person lesson, but we are using the online environment to do something that online environments only can do.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's not just a second best lesson, but I have to think, how do we teach better by using the online technology or the music technology? So this is a very important mentality when you have to switch online offline, because like I'm working on church, right? I'm like
Yes.
usually using the technology to do the church music. It's not reproduce what we cannot in the real situation, but now we're switching on online. What the thing that we can do better when we have the online or the production situation, we
Okay.
can maximize the usage of the technology, which we usually cannot do in person in the arena or in the worship hall. So
Oh,
maybe some more information, or maybe some more artistic illustration, that when you talk a point, but I can use the use a digital or the technological help. I can juxtapose two songs with opacity. I show in the screen with some illustration that can illustrate the message clearer and even more artistic. So this is a reimagination of online teaching.
okay. Do you think technology help us to be free from practice?
Wow. I think Yes, but no. Yes. For the yes part, like that's the video that we have been watched. We have watched at the
Yes,
very
yes.
beginning. I did a lot of pitch correction.
Oh,
I did a lot of audio mixing. If I do not do the mixing, like cut and paste to align the syllables in 9 parts, you cannot hear that clear. The punctuation is not good. And also, although I think I'm not a bad singer, but I still have the intonation problem in some turns, in some special extreme vocalism. So I do need to pull in the pitch correction software or the plugin to help us tune it into perfectly into just intonation, like the 12th tone. So we can
okay.
have the a cappella, especially the song is in a cappella. A cappella needs the intonation like number one, the priority. So if you like just slightly off from the grid of the
Yes,
12
yes, yes.
tones, a cappella does not work. If you have accompaniments like a piano or orchestra or the band supporting you, yes, some slips is acceptable. It's not really audible by 95% of the audience.
Yes,
But
yes.
in a cappella, it is hard. So we have to pull back the pitch correction or pull back the EQ to make my tone more transparent in some, like, because I have 9 equal parts. Some parts have to stick up a little bit, have to
Yes,
bring up
yes,
a
yes.
little bit because it's a melody or the
Yeah, yeah.
duet, or some is not quite important as a backing. So we have to do the mixing. It's technology. So in technology, we can substitute something like I have a bad intonation or I have a bad balance, I have a bad control of dynamics. We can fix a bit. So this is the
Oh,
yes part. But no part is when you sound bad, uh, no sound engineer can turn your sound into a like superstar sound.
yes, yes, yes.
Although there are a lot of plugins helping, but you can still see the cracks inside. You can still there is a lot of work, or even the work is hard enough for amateur mix sound engineer to handle. So I would prefer to practice better voice, better tone color before you go into the recording session. And also, as a good ethics of music, so you need to strive for excellence. And although the technology can help you, like you sing a word wrong, you enter
Yeah.
at the point, we have punching in technology. We can just do that line. We can do the overdub, etc. But um, when you music as a performing arts,
Yes.
you can never just stay behind the
Yes,
scene.
yes, yes, yes.
So it doesn't help you to be a better musician if you have a very good skill on mixing.
Yeah.
Some technologies I have mentioned are just to visualize your voice and visualize your sound produced, so not to enhance your voice, but a clearer picture for you to practice wiser, to know what to fix, to know how the progress is something like that. So I think no more than yes in this question.
Okay. Okay, so now knowing what our Jesselton Philharmonic Orchestra is doing, do you have any advice or views regarding the activities that we are doing?
Yes, especially the orchestra is very meaningful to the community and the humankind. I appreciate very much.
Thank
And
you.
what we can do, my advice and my experience is that why not you guys put up some online production?
Oh, you mean
Because
like
you may have been watching a lot of virtual orchestra,
yes, yes.
virtual ensemble, something like that, or like in Hong Kong we have Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah.
They put up ensemble or chamber music, and some musicians home, or some recital hall, just empty recital hall with a good social distancing, which your society allows. and they
Yes.
put up a production. So they produce or they broadcast their production like once a week. So every Saturday night we have a special program by the Hong Kong Philharmonic, like something like that.
Oh,
So online
okay.
production can be virtual orchestra, like every orchestral members they play at home, they record that. It's like what if you know Bach Fest Malaysia, and they put
Okay.
on the everybody singing, they put together and to produce a cantata, something like that.
Oh,
But we have to find a very good sound engineer or the post-production person to help you out with the putting all the tracks together.
oh,
But it is a very good opportunity for keeping up the members of the orchestra alive,
oh,
and
okay.
keep
Yeah, I
them
understand.
connected, keep them determined, because some of the skills are very remote to them because they
Yeah,
usually practice for their instruments, but they seldom uh, encounter how to record their voice, record their playing, or how to look good in the camera, even like that. It is a very good stretch to the orchestral members to especially to send a message to them. We have to be innovative or being very creative in such a lot of constraints. But music itself is like that because music has a lot of rules and regulations, right? You have
yes,
counterpoints, you have voice leading, you have chord progression, and different paradigms. You have your own set of rules.
yes.
But in a set of rules, it does not equal to no creativity. On the contrary, more creativity will be seen if you have a lot of set of regulations with the same constraints, but how different can the composers compose music differently? And it is communicating effectively also. So this is a really good ponder or the really good reflections in this special time. Well, I know that your orchestra also doing some master class before, right?
Yes.
Regularly. So online master class is a way. It's people sending in their recording or the playing, and online can be reviewed by the master teacher, and to do real time or the recorded feedback for
Yeah.
them and show them some special skill really close up, and which usually in the normal master class does not do it, cannot do that. So it can be thing like a very famous jazz keyboard player is a Chick Corea. Is now they are putting online Chick Corea Academy. It's like
Chick
people
Korea.
turning their Chick Corea, CHICCOREA, Chick Corea. It's a very like a best in the jazz keyboard playing in this world.
Oh, okay, okay.
Recent, living keyboardist. Um, he can still keep doing the online masterclass and online workshop for the jazz community. It's really effective. And most of the people, they usually doesn't get chance to meet the maestro, but that online is just like playing only for them. It's like Berlin Philharmonic. You have heard that?
Yes, yes,
Berlin
yes.
Philharmonic have the digital concert hall, right?
Okay.
What they sell is they have a digital concert hall. You click into the concert hall and have the concert watched. It's like they really doing that just for you.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's like the turn of the marketing.
yes, yes,
It's like
yes,
you
yes,
are
yes,
doing
yes,
a
yes.
concert for all. No, now you alone, staying in your room. You click into digital concert hall. Now you are the only audience in the
Yeah.
concert hall. It's like a very good trick, right? But
Yes, yes, yes.
why not? We share the information in different way, and in no, there's a postmodernism. Now it's more personalized by
Yeah.
individuals, something like that. We can fit in better to the society. Also, the outreaching keep the public interested and expecting, almost expecting, like after the pandemic or after the ease of pandemic, what we can do, promoting something that's what the orchestra wants to give back to the society. your motto, your meaning of the orchestra, keep promoting on the social media. This only way, but keep your appearance, keep the presence of your orchestra is important. And explore more scientific researches on teaching in pandemic or any policies that we can comfortably to adjust and can also help the orchestra to expand, I think. And I know that you have some projects to outreach to some
Yes, yes,
children or remote villages or people underprivileged and to learn about music, right?
yes.
No, now you cannot do in-person sharing, but why not try your very best? Not may not be music, just maybe send them a letter, send them something that they can see, or sending some little gift to them to send regards to the children, or send regards to the clients, to send regards to your service users, to let them know you're still remembering them. There's a very good connection that we can use, not using the ordinary way that we play music in front of them, we teach them music in person with touch of hand.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, think of.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, so unfortunately, we're running out of time for this interview.
Mhm.
So, on behalf of JPO, we would like to thank you, Caleb Wu,
You're
for
welcome.
dedicating your time and energy into this interview despite the pandemic that is happening right now. We would also like to thank everyone who has attended and supported this program. You guys have been great. And I hope you guys got the answers you wanted. So for those who are waiting for answers, please stay as Mr. Caleb Wu will answer your question through the Q&A below later. And please check for the link at our JPO Facebook page and stay tuned. For anyone interested to share any of our program with your family and friends, it will be on our Facebook page, Jesselton Philharmonic Orchestra. And now, Caleb Wu will lead the prayer to end tonight's program. Please pray in whatever faith you believe in for the COVID-19.
Okay, let's pray.
Okay.
Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity that we can gather and share tonight. When we are experiencing unprecedented circumstances, we might have different questions. The situations may shake the understanding of everything, and we may turn to be skeptical and negative sometimes. Lord, please grant us help and wisdom when we are in hardship. We know that it would be too much for us to handle the reality sometimes, and we have to admit that we are so not experienced in a lot of things. So please grant us your word so we can be comforted. In the prayer, we usually talk too much. We usually express what we want only, but we always forget we should be changed and drawn closer to you in prayer and listen to you. We should listen more instead of talk more. We have to focus on who you are instead of what we want. In the pandemic, we might have more time to be quiet. May the Spirit remind us to connect to you with awareness so that we can recognize more your voice. And in the hardship, let's ponder more on the all-round concept of shalom. Means the original should be of your creation. And reflect how should we act so that we can manifest your glory. So we are created according to your image. In the hardship, let's be others' light, be others' help, and even the hands of Christ. We ponder deeper to realize our true gladness as well as observe better the needs in the world, and so that we can figure out the vocation you have on us. Let us be transformed by the renewing of our mind. That we can be proved what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of you. We pray also for a good rest tonight so that we can have enough energy to face tomorrow. Keep us safe and healthy and strong. We can share and shine among people. May our presence in the community be a reflectors of your glory, and people can see your kingdom and way of doing things admirable. And they will be reminded we belong to you, the mighty creator of all things bright and beautiful. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.